Hello, everyone. I'm Peng Kuang. I'm a PhD student from Lund University. Today, I'm going to present you our paper, Applying Machine Learning to Get Data in Software Development, a mapping study. This is a collaboration with my supervisors. I'm a third Bailey, the Derek Senior Hoster, and Martin Host. As you may know, ETRA studies generates lots of data. These data generally are of megabytes size. It has many attributes or dimensions, and the values of these attributes can be very sparse. So to manually analyze them can be labor-intensive and time-consuming. Meanwhile, machine learning models are data-driven. They work well with larger size data. Therefore, this leads to our curiosity to investigate the following research questions. First, what problems have been tackled by using machine learning on GIS data in software development? Second, how is machine learning used with GIS data in software development? Third, what are the open challenges in using machine learning on GIS data in software development? To answer these research questions, we have conducted a systematic mapping study. This diagram gives you an overview of the filtering process of our mapping study. This entire process can be divided into 2 iterations. We started with 50 papers. We added 33 papers to the pile. After rerunning the refined search string, in the end, we included 10 primary studies in the final set. Here you can see the search string we have formulated. It consists of 3 major components. The first component covers different types of software development activities. The second component covers eye tracking and gaze. The third component covers different machine learning techniques. The highlight parts are the keywords that we have added in the second iteration. So what results have we found out? In terms of demographics, we can see most of the papers are quite recently published. There's a growing trend in 2021. In terms of publication venue, ICPC, the International Conference of Program Comprehension, is more present at 2 as opposed to 1 for other venues. Because we are examining the papers from the perspective of a machine learning application, we are interested to know whether or not they are reusing some of the existing data sets. We can tell 3 out of the 10 papers have reused the existing data sets, which is encouraging. In the domain of biometric-based machine learning, combining eye trackers with additional sensors to enable multimodal learning is promising. Therefore, we also looked in this aspect, and we can see the electrodermal activity sensors are the most frequently used sensors together with eye trackers. Then we look at the machine learning technique used with different types of software development activities. By looking at the highlight cells in the table, we can see support vector machine is the most frequently used machine learning technique, followed by the decision tree. And code comprehension is the most studied type of software development activity. Next, we look at the machine learning technique used for different prediction tasks. Again, by looking at the highlight cells in the table, we can tell support vector machine is the most frequently used machine learning technique, both for programming expertise predictions and task difficulty predictions. We also extracted limitations and challenges from these studies. Both limitations and challenges are ranked by the number of the papers that has mentioned them. The first prominent limitation is the limited sample size. For clarification, this refers to the small size of the participants in each study. It does not concern the dimensions for each individual sample. The second limitation is unbalanced data set. This refers to the underrepresentation or absence of a certain participant cohort in the data set. The third limitation, binary categorization. This refers to the potential risk of oversimplification of both the programming expertise and prediction and task difficulty. For example, novices versus experts, easy versus hard. The last limitation is the trade-off between choosing certain machine learning techniques and losing or compromising certain information from the gaze data. In terms of challenges, the most prominent challenge is experiment management. This is not surprising to researchers who use eye trackers. Eye trackers is prone to drift over time. It also is sensitive to many external factors, for example, illumination. The second challenge is the generalizability and validity of machine learning models. This is not an uncommon challenge in the domain of machine learning because of the limitations we mentioned before, for example, small-sized sample and unbalanced data. both will lead to overfitting of the machine learning models, therefore makes the generalizability and the validity of the machine learning models in question. Finally, we also synthesize the opportunities for future research, supplemented by our own insights. It is also ranked by the number of papers that have mentioned them. The first direction is extension of application. This refers to extend the application of the machine learning models to other sub-area or neighboring fields. For example, computer science education. The second direction is prediction task expansion. This refers to expanding the prediction of the trained machine learning models to cover other similar tasks or finer-grained tasks. The third direction is model validation and enhancement. Model validation refers to deploying another dataset to test the validity of the trained model. Model enhancements has two ways to do it, to achieve it. First is to diversify the training data. This refers to incorporating data from a completely new scenario or cohort, or incorporate more features of existing data points. Balancing training data, this refers to increase the sampling of the current underrepresented or absent participant cohort. System improvement, this refers to incorporating the trained model as a component to existing systems or tools to better support programmers. The last direction is to evaluate the trained model in a work environment or with more realistic user study. With that, I conclude my presentation. Thank you for your attention.